When Congress defunded public media, thousands of you stepped up, increasing your monthly gift to help us survive year one without federal funding. We made it, but that loss isn't going away. So if you haven't increased your monthly contribution yet, now's the time. And if you're not a sustaining member, join us. A monthly gift to Boise State Public Radio gives us the steady, reliable support we need for year two and beyond. Choose the support tab at boisestatepublicradio.org.
It's the Connector Idaho Daily News, July 31st. Happy Friday. I'm Troy Oppie. Here are today's headlines. Perpetua Resources has announced a pilot project in collaboration with Idaho National Labs and the U.S. military to process antimony mined at Stibnite. Major events in Boise happening this weekend despite the wildfire smoke, and how Zoo Boise is keeping its animals safe and comfortable in smoky conditions. First, on this Friday, 3 of the North Idaho women who sued the state in 2024 over Idaho's abortion ban are now accusing an anti-abortion website of defamation. The Bonner County Bee reports advocacy group Amplify Legal sent a cease and desist letter to anti-abortion website Live Action, alleging posts made about 13 women, including the 3 from Idaho who have now all moved out of state, were false and defamatory. The posts claim that the pregnancies were not dangerous to the women and that their abortions were not medically necessary. Some of the women have received death threats, according to Amplify Legal. They're demanding that the offending posts be removed and corrections issued. They've threatened legal action if Live Action does not comply. But the posts alleged to be false and defamatory are still posted by Live Action as of today. Containment on the Big Grass Fire, now primarily burning in Owyhee County, increased yesterday to 21%. The size of the fire grew slightly to 303,000 acres. There's a community meeting planned for this evening at the Owyhee County Museum and Library in Murphy. That meeting starts at 7 p.m. Those meetings are also typically streamed by the U.S. Wildfire Service Idaho Great Basin team on Facebook. In Westmoller County in Oregon, continued growth of the Coleman Creek fire burning just south of Highway 20 forced new emergency evacuations yesterday just east of the Juntura area. Fire crews are working to keep that blaze south of the highway as it moves into the Sperry Creek and Gold Creek wilderness areas to the east and across Mosquito Mountain to the south. Poor air quality is expected to continue through the weekend in southwest and south central Idaho with some periods of improvement. The city of Eagle has canceled or moved several events, including the Saturday market, which will not happen tomorrow. You'll want to check that city's social media for specific information. San Ignacio is a go this weekend in Boise. You heard a preview of the Basque event if you were tuned into Morning Edition yesterday. The city of Boise continues to operate outdoor activities, including the city pools, on a day-to-day basis. Best practice, especially if you're considering attending an outdoor event this weekend that is hosted by a government entity, you want to check conditions before you go. 2 major sporting events this weekend are a go. Banana Ball has events tonight and tomorrow at Albertson Stadium. Here's what Boise State's Chief Operating Officer of Events and Entertainment, Nathan Burke, said this week about the potential for cancellation related to air quality.
Banana Ball would be the one that would be go, no go on if their athletes perform or not, because they're the ones doing physical exertion there. So we have ongoing conversations with them, but I think the expectation is that we'll continue to go. We're more probably concerned on a health and safety standpoint for heat than we are. This Saturday is supposed to be 104.
The Banana Ball organization has not responded to multiple requests for comment. Athletic Club Boise hosts Corpus Christi FC on Saturday at Expo Idaho. That game is on, but the team in a news release yesterday says they're monitoring air quality closely and consulting with team medical staff and following procedures from the United Soccer League to determine if they continue to move forward if conditions were to worsen beyond the current forecast. That current forecast does include a fire weather watch across southwest Idaho and eastern Oregon as well. Gusty winds as a dry cold front passes through our area Saturday, which will elevate the danger for fire weather conditions. Gusty winds, low relative humidities is happening this weekend. Boise expects temperatures in the low 100s today and low 100s again tomorrow. The state of Oregon has some of the worst wildfire conditions right now in the United States, but certainly is not the only area where fires are burning this fire season. The stress on the Federal Wildfire Resources System has pushed the readiness level to PL5. That's the highest on a scale of 1 to 5. That means the maximum number of resources are basically already deployed and there isn't a lot to go around as some fires grow or new fires break out. Some fire managers have used the phrase competing for resources with other fires. That's the case on the Big Grass Fire several days ago as air resources were stretched thin. Still, Public Information Officer Michael Smith with Great Basin Complex Incident Management Team 3 working the Tartar Fire in Washington County north of Weiser says it's stressful but remains cautiously optimistic.
We're going to make it work, with the systems full of dedicated professionals that have been in this spot before. And, my confidence is high that everything's going to pull through, but it is definitely a strain on the system.
As another heat wave sets in across the American West, the Mount West News Bureau's Murphy Woodhouse reports on new research that finds heat waves dramatically impact wildfire growth.
It may sound obvious that hotter weather fuels wildfires, but some of the details of the relationships between heat waves and wildfires are eye-popping.
Heat waves are actually associated with close to half of all the wildfire burned area in the western U.S. over the past 25 years.
That's Dmitry Kloshnikov, lead author on a paper recently published in the journal Science Advances. There are significant regional variations in the findings, as seen in the grass and shrublands of the Idaho, Oregon, Nevada tri-state area.
2/3 of the burned area in those areas is actually heat wave related.
That region has seen intense burning recently and is expected to be heavily impacted by the heat wave. Because human-caused climate change is making heat waves more frequent and intense, Kloshnikov says aggressive action to reduce the burning of fossil fuels is the most important policy response. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Murphy Woodhouse.
3 Idahoans have died the last week due to heat-related complications. The State Department of Health and Welfare announced the deaths in a news release yesterday. Each person was over 55 years old and in different communities across southern Idaho, though exact locations were not specified. Residents are encouraged to be aware of heat-related illness symptoms and what to do if they're experiencing symptoms, including moving or staying indoors into cooler conditions, wearing loose-fitting clothing, or utilizing a cold bath. Mining company Perpetua Resources announced this week the unveiling of a pilot plant developed at the Idaho National Laboratory for antimony processing. Perpetua's Stibnite Gold project in Valley County will mine antimony as well, a critical mineral with no current domestic supply. There's also no domestic processing capability for the antimony that will be mined at Stibnite. But this week, political leaders, including Governor Brad Little, Lieutenant Governor Scott Bedke, and Idaho Congressman Mike Simpson, gathered at INL in Idaho Falls to mark the opening of the pilot plant, which was developed by Perpetua in collaboration with the U.S. Army. Antimony processed by the machine will be prepared for ammunition and other military uses. Tests on the plant using rock already gathered at Stibnite will be conducted to ensure its feasibility and scalability. Smoky air settling over Idaho is keeping many humans from going outside and doing things like walking, running, or playing sports. At Zoo Boise, the staff is making sure our wildlife friends are also taken care of during this period of poor air quality. Chantel Ramirez-Sanchez has more.
Unhealthy air quality from nearby fires is impacting humans and wildlife. The care team at Zoo Boise is monitoring animal conditions, ready to make changes if needed.
Animal care and our animal welfare is always going to be top of our mind.
That's the zoo's Jeff Augusta. He says many animals always have access to indoor space, allowing them to choose where to spend their time, reducing stress.
That's why we've set that up so that they have a space to go into that is inside where guests can still have that opportunity to interact with them, hopefully be inspired by them and want to act to help their wild counterparts.
On the human side, he says the zoo can move some activities to indoor areas.
But some of the animal encounters and our butterflies in bloom, we do have to close those early or not open them at all if the air quality is bad enough.
He says guests can check for closures by checking for signs outside of the zoo, checking social media, or calling the zoo. Chantal Ramirez-Sanchez, Boise State Public Radio News.
And that's your Connector on this Friday. I'm Troy Oppie. Lauren Patterson will be back with you next couple of weeks as I get some vacation I'm very much looking forward to. I hope that's in your future as well, as the summer is just about gone, it feels like, doesn't it? The Connector is a production of Boise State Public Radio. Our news director is Sasha Woodruff. Our general manager is Tom Michael. Our digital strategy manager is Lacey Daly. Make it a great day and a great weekend.
Each story story you hear on Planet Money starts with a question. What happens if we refund tariffs? Why are groceries so expensive? At NPR, we stand for your right to be curious, because the forces shaping our world can be hard to see. Follow NPR's Planet Money wherever you get your podcasts and start seeing how the economy really works.